I just wrote this scalping script. So I'm going to put this in the bottom of the in the comment line here. And this script is going to buy a 3K, but it's going to buy one at the market, one on a stop, and one on a limit. So what it looks like is inside, under the hood, I was able to compile this so that I could queue up the stops here and make a hard stop at 10. So it let me put a space in here. Apparently the code doesn't care whether you leave a space here. So this gets into the market, and these two linger for 15 minutes, a stop and a limit. So if we go down 5 pips, it's going to get in. If you go up 2, it's going to do a confirmation entry. So I call this a combination script, and it's kind of gauged to make, now this is gauged to risk 10 and double your money. This is gauged to risk 5 and make supposedly 5 plus 8, 12, and this is designed to risk 12 to make 12. Now this could be looking to make 24. You could have, if you're going to really buy 5K, you'd buy stops here maybe, and maybe 2 more limits. But you want to reduce the amount of. Now this could be a 20 pip stop in every order. Now, depending on how much aggressive you want to get in, each key can contain, say the first key's a 1K, next key's a 1K, but you know that this is going to buy 10, 20, 30 pips deep, and you just don't overload the account. A lot of the problem is overloading the account. This way you can train yourself if you want to scalp, and then just clone the other account to this account. So just what you do is you just take the scripts you wrote and you go to the data folder on both accounts. You open this up and you copy all the MQL4, the profiles, the templates, and the config, because inside, well, not the config, that's the one you leave out. You've got to copy the profiles because it contains your hotkeys if you wrote them. This way you can just go to the next, everything's programmed for all these scripts ready to launch, and you just come up and go bam, 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 and then you just so I made all the cells in Alt and I made Control by, and these are the ones that will override the hotkeys that MT4 has for your normal. So you have to be careful that if you make Control M here coming in from another macro, then you're going to lose your open the market. So it'll actually launch a script. It'll ignore the normal hotkeys that MetaTrader has for all these. When you go to view, it says let's see, tools. This F4 will still be there. If you go to view, toolbox, you'll miss this one. Navigator will be gone. Anything with a letter, if you've chosen that letter. So when you get into the but this way you can test out a scheme real easy. This is just a 3K, but you can imagine how complicated. This is 3 types in one, so it's pretty balanced. It's a 10 pip stop, but of course as the market moves, when you pull the trigger on this buy limit at the bottom, you can put this at the top. I mean, this buy at the market, you could put this at the top. It would first, that would be the first fill. You might want to do that if you're afraid of missing out. So you'll notice every time you write one of these order plans, you can see all your hopes and fears while you're writing it. So it should be just obvious if you're writing a letter to somebody that says go fuck yourself, you already know up front it's going to be. So let me make this a better ratio here. So everything's a different exit. Now this is going to risk 12 to make 16. So overpaying by 2 pips with a 10 pip stop. We're getting in great here. It can't go. It's got a 5 pip window, but this is designed to make 12. And this one we know we're right, so we're just going to put a 10 stop to make 20. 3K. So this is, I'm going to publish this as the, I'll just strip out this because this is going to confuse people. But you just keep cloning a master script, a sell one and a buy one, and then you just build your whole playbook. So you have something, you're basically showing up with every weapon possible. And this, I would leave that at 15 minutes because if you're really scalping, you don't want that stuff to sit around. It's bad enough you're in the market. It's bad enough you're trading. So this is short and sweet. I'm going to get rid of this shit. I don't really give a... This, forget it, right? This is just, what's going on. I'm going to have to describe it. I think I just deleted something critical. Wait, let's get rid of this. So that's it, in a nutshell. At the market 3K. Only impulsive traders need apply. That's how it's rigged. Okay, let's run it now. So I have that, and I'm running this other one, which is a psychotic anger order that lasts a real long time. So I'm going to have to trim that down to 15. This will make a big difference in the equity curve of this account. There's only $2,000 in this demo, and hopefully it's publishing. I don't know if I'm allowed to do more than one account to this FX Blue. Okay, so I'm about to get out on the market order. If I turn on the comments, you see the market order's up. Well, it's only down 3 cents, but this one, the buy stop, I set to kind of scalp. So actually, that's kind of already been rewritten. So what if I buy at the market here? I wouldn't, but what if I did? Here's the market. Here comes another. Now this is make 20 pips. About to get stopped out of the other buy at the market. And the buy stop filled. Now the limits, I'm going to change this script to, which I already know, it's written really hairy, ridiculous. Now this is set to 3 hours. Like, holy fuck. Now this might be good inside the dollars against the Swiss, but in here, let's just make it a half an hour, which is plenty aggressive, I think. So M30. Just recompile the whole damn thing. This is a hard stop. 10 pip stop on the last order, looking to go for a plunge. This is the Super Ball bounce, so you're putting a, this is a break even nearly. Trend designed. And this is on the plunge, so this is really going to look like when it comes in, it's going to fill to here. If it doesn't get stopped out, it's going to take, it's going to risk 10 to make 20, make 15 here, 20, 20, 20, about 20 pips there. And the ratio, this has to make 400 to make the ratio at least break even, because it's going to get out way up there. So it kind of looks like that on the exits. And but once you change this time frame, then you can use it, you can shop with it more different currency pairs. Because if you see an opportunity to buy a psycho plunge, you know it's coming. So this is like waiting outside the bar, and hopefully you've got your limousine there looking for a damsel in distress to stagger out of the bar within a half an hour, and so you just kidnap her with the script, and that's it, it's over. It's a hump and dump basically. So now I can shop around. If I know that that's going to buy 40 pips deep, let's see if I can launch it somewhere. So I know that's hotkey number 2. I'm going to run it right here, even though I got the other one that lasts for a really long time. So here's the same version in a half hour, but you can't really tell the difference. Now, 1 minute chart, it looks pretty interesting. Strip this off. I'll take a look at it like this. Now this is going to buy every 5 pips for 40 pips. Holy shit. It's going to ask me if I want to do one-click trading. Alright. So this is just a whole different account all of a sudden. If I don't hit any more buttons on here, it looks like a buy scalp right now. So if you're looking at the 5, would you buy here? Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run the stops on this account too. So here's a buy stop. Now you're just putting buy stops as it comes down. So I put this on key number 4. So after my first 4 fingers that are pretty much buy at the market or get the fuck in, the other ones are, the other next 4 fingers are going to be donated to stop entry, passive entry. So I just go back into my navigator, Control N, I'll go down to C5, Control 5 key, edit this. It's going to buy, it's pretty much at the market. It's going to buy 1 pip above, but I'm going to tighten up this stop to 10 pips. So everything's a 10 pip stop. Like, fuck them. So, and this is going to be to make 15 pips. So these will all be different. And this is going to last for an hour. So if you are going to, or you could have it 15 minutes. So here's the decision here. How often are you going to come to this keyboard and hit these keys? And you'll find out whether or not this is realistic at some point. So I'll make it 15 just to be conservative, because it's almost a market order. I could set this to whatever, but 15, I mean 1.5 pips. 15 would be 1.5 pips. Or I could tighten this to 8. I can make it tighter than the market orders, because if it's really going, it's really going. And I can make this say 14, but you can see how complicated it would be, but you're spreading it out on all different keys. So now you're going to open up the next one, which is the next more trendish stop entry, and this maybe has a 12 stop to make 24 pips. And I just made it so that every time I reprogram, all I have to do is know that that key is going to hit. So I made the key, the key dictates what the script's going to do. So I know these are all trend trades, and this is going to be your big, like I'm going to trade with a 15 pip stop to make 40 pips. It's going to last 2 hours, and maybe the last key lasts 8 hours. It has a 20 pip stop to make 60 pips, and it's just a good old, and maybe it gets in 10 pips above. Maybe it's very volatility based, even though it could be a trap entry. If this said get me in 10 pips above with a 30 stop to make 60 pips, that's a good ratio, right? And you're less likely to get stopped out of that. That's why these people are making money on swing trading, because they're less likely to get stopped out. Okay, I'm going to stay away from the other keys here, because it's just we don't want to overdo it. So here's the 15 minute. I'm always going to be running this 15 now. 40 pips deep in 15 minutes. So I could hunt for another currency pair, but I'm just going to run euro right now. So I'm in $11 margin. I'm going to buy at the market right here. Yikes. Okay, it confused the. Now I just bought a 9K at the market there. Just hit that thing. My mouse is all screwed up. Okay, let's take a look here. Drill down. I think we missed that entry. Hopefully it filled on a limit here. So how do you know if you're kicking ass? You see this limit filled, so you know that you fucked up and you should have bought on a limit. This is another way to check your handiwork there. The more limits you can fill on, I think the better you're trading, because we can all jump up to the screen and buy at the market, but if we weren't there to hit that at the market, we got this bonus entry. This is the bottom of the bag fry. Okay, now I'm in heavy on the stops, which are set to 16 pips. Oh, I see what's going on. Fuck. Okay, just to let you know, so this is a new platform. If you go to tools, go to options, there's a couple of things I do here. So you don't fuck up the orders that you have on the screen. Go to trade, go to one-click trading, and submit to the conditions. Go to the here. You got to turn on allow automated trading. Turn all this shit on. Then you got to go to charts, and here you make sure you turn this alt. Use alt key to change levels. And you just take all this down to 2 grand here, like 5,000 bars in the chart, or 5,000 bars in data. I don't know. It's a scalping platform, so you don't need all this data to show the period separators, but that's just on a default chart. So here I make it so that it's 0 pixels away. Here you can show stuff after creation, but I'm just going to make magnetic sensitivity 1 because I want to be able to go right up to the pinpoint of an object and drag it. Okay, so hopefully this is going to work. Okay, so I'm in at the market. I'm in on some stops. We have to let this go now. I'm in like probably about 10K, about 12K at the market. You still gotta wait even though you're scalping. Here's your top bottom. It's about a little bit of time left here so we can get some movement. This is the top that became a bottom. So you either had some monster pending there, or you got in on the I guess I should have imported the settings for that, to configure colors. I'm afraid to import that configuration file because it's got the broker's server in it. One time I did that and I actually had a different brand name up on my... It said one broker, but I knew it was the other server. So that was weird. It's hard to keep track of what the fuck's going on out there. People keep changing the way stuff goes. You go to a page now and you're just like, there's pop-ups. I'm like, I'll see you, bye. So I have 0 tolerance. I should just name my channel The Angry Trader, but oh well, Angry Scalper. Okay, so I could put the buy steps in now that I wrote. There's no arrows. There's only arrows for a couple of these. So this is trend continuation shit. Keeps breaking out. We keep going up. A real trap here on the daily though. Here was the big kahuna breakout trade. Total trap. So if you were trend continuation and you moved if you didn't trail your robot really tight on this thing as it's dropping, you had to be kind of like getting out. You had to have that robot here, and then you definitely had to get out of something here as soon as we went into the crush zone. Had to get out. Get out in reverse, for God's sakes. Here I think it's going to be interesting. Got 1 day left. I'm going to buy all the way to here and scalp to there. And I'm going to buy, yeah, right in here. And I do think that there's a possibility we could, with the news coming out tomorrow, we're going to go up here, but it could be an up and then smash back. Right? See that a million times. Up and smash back. Okay. I don't even know if there's news coming out, but I think tomorrow there's jobs report. Okay, so this is pretty slow moving. Pretty slow moving market right now. So I just got one currency here. To wait for this to happen. Got to break out this 1 minute triple top. Take out that triple top. Go up. And hopefully be cashing out of something here. The spreads are pretty terrible at this broker, I think. I don't know. I guess I don't know what to make of the... Let's take a look at the... We'll turn on one-click trading. Looks like the spread's pretty terrible there. Pretty wide. Five pips. Yeah. Okay. Not 2 pips. It's alright. I guess this thing's been pretty volatile. Looks like we want to go blow out this top here. 4 hour chart. 4 hour charts here. So here's the 1 hour. Just realization for anybody that's trend trading that. Ouch. My thoughts and prayers are with your attempt to enter the trend, the friendly trend. Golly. Okay. Another thing you want to do if you ever turn this on just to watch the price, you need to dial this down. If you're really trading 1Ks, you want to accidentally execute 100K there. That might be a little rugged. And then you get a template you like, you come up here, save template. I'll just call this CCI. Even though it's a top here, but it comes up on the load on the second down for some reason. It's renamed here in a different order. That'll make you want to jump out a window right there. Okay, here's the 5. This was the limit order entry. Never got filled on these limits down here. So those are last a half hour actually. That's the one with the big monster key. And they're just struggling. We're at the bottom of the day here. So I think a lot of people are going to get out here. And here's the exit for the scalpers. What happens here determines, I guess, how we finish. If we could finish blowing out the top of the day, would certainly be my wish. So put some buy stops in there. So the target's right there at the breakout point. So the scalp I'm going to put in, I'm going to load up on that scalp so you can see the exit on that. So now how streamed out do you get out here? And this is the question for the scalper is, do you want to be in what would be the best sizing that you get in here on limits, pretty heavy. You get in stops, pretty heavy. This is the 1 hour chart, mind you. You'd be pressing the button where you're buying at the market every 5 pip drops. You have limits in really tight, you're really tight, and pretty fat. You're out of a lot of stuff here. Maybe you do get the whole thing out. You're flat right now. Now you got these buy limits sitting here for the auto scalp, really, because if it's just going to keep doing that shit, who cares, right? You've got monster buy limits here, and they make money. But you really got to dial down tight stops. And the script might look ridiculous, but hey, you know, if the spread's tight enough and the market goes through its phase, I'm gonna put a indicator in here just so I can see the spread. I guess I can't. I gotta hunt down this indicator. Okay. I think I'm in about 10 to 20K here, using $61 a margin. We should be getting out of something. So this is all, there's nothing that's getting, there's only one good limit. The rest are buy at the markets. This is a 4 hour chart. If I go to the 1 minute, we broke out that triple top and they're off to the races. Go to the 5 minute. This was our entry on the 5. You got in here. See at the top, bottom on the 5 minute. You have a triple top here. Look, we were just banging on that puppy. But here's this spread is not too great on this broker, but you can see it's 2.8 pip here. When it came flying back here, this is why that guy that said you're really buying every pip. Well, yeah, if you're a scalper, you'd buy every pip of this plunge, and your buy limit would start here at the beginning of this plunge. Buy limit, buy limit, buy limit, buy limit. Every pip, stop here. So you pick that up, then you have your buy stops. Right now you're getting in heavy, and every time you hear, you could set an alarm or something. You want to buy and feel like you're doing something. Buy here and buy here. If you're right there to hit that on the 1 minute, boom, boom, and you build that position and you dump, and you're out maybe. Here you can see the trap for the breakout. If you're scalping, you can see their trap on that 5. You see the stop bots getting filled for the, maybe it's going to turn around. They get trapped. You know, bears get trapped on there. But this is the top bottom on the 5, 1 minute. You're scalping. All you do on this broker is scalp. You write the scripts to scalp, and then you swing trade the other brokers. Then you can tell what the fuck's going on. You're like, okay, this is my scalping. You put your scalper's hat on, you get out your big cigar, you get out your martini, you get out your brandy, and you be a scalper. And then you just don't let the other account know that you're scalping. You have a swing account, and then you put on a suit and tie, you sit down, you have a laptop on the other side of the room, and that's your swing trading account.